Hello everyone, welcome to the video. My name is Ace, and today I'm going to be explaining why the resolution of 720p should actually be considered HD, but on YouTube it isn't. Now, this isn't going to be a rant about how they remove the HD tag for 720p videos, which were previously considered HD, which may or may not affect how often videos appear in searches despite what YouTube says. No, actually, I agree with YouTube's decision about not considering 720p videos on their platform HD. However, the reason I agree with them on that might just be worse than a 5-minute rant about why would they change HD. HD is HD. The issue is actually in YouTube's compression. Now, YouTube's compression has always been far from lossless, but over the years it has been gradually getting worse and worse, to the point where HD looks like standard, and standard looks like late summer nights watching Netflix on your 3DS. So how bad has YouTube's compression really become? Well, this grip footage isn't just to give you, the audience, something pretty and nauseating to look at while I talk. What I've done for this video is I've taken this 4K gameplay footage and uploaded it in an earlier private video in 720p. Then, I re-recorded it lossless from the player so it looks exactly as it does on YouTube. But I bet you're wondering, won't YouTube compression just make this video look worse too? You're right. That's why I've uploaded the 720p comparisons you're about to see in 4K to reduce the problem as much as possible. The fact that we even need to see a 720p comparison in 4K should say something about how the compression is on its own. So, how are we going to do the comparison exactly? Well, I have recorded 2 videos just for testing this. One in full screen, and one in a 4-window split screen. In the 4-window split screen, we can just zoom in on just one of the screens to really see up close how badly the compression affects 720p. I have also chosen what is, in my opinion, the perfect course for kind of baiting out bad YouTube compression. See, the way compression works is it would take an insane amount of memory to render each frame in full. So anywhere they can repeat a section, it just cuts out small squares and takes it from the previous frame. So, an image like this in Sea of Thieves, while the water and the waving flora are mostly not being repeated because there's constant motion, the sky is almost constantly at a standstill, only occasionally updating as the clouds move and as very slowly the sun sets and the color changes. This saves a great deal of memory and keeps everything looking clean. In a game like Grip, however, it is just constant motion on almost every corner of the screen, yet the bitrate needs to stay the same. So it has no choice but to cut out more and more, it shouldn't have to save on memory, and this makes things start to look worse. Ever wonder why when you watch a streamer in a tense moment and he's snapping his aim or turning around quickly, that the stream's image just gets so chunky? That's why. There is more we can do than just that though. Dark colors have a hard time in compression as well. It is much more noticeable when bits are getting cut out of the frames because we as humans are better at differentiating shapes in the dark image than a computer is. This gets especially bad when the image is quickly going back and forth between bright and dark colors. So I think I picked a pretty great scenario for displaying clearly exactly how bad YouTube's compression is, wouldn't you say? So now that you've seen the test footage in a nice crisp 4K at 60 FPS and you know exactly what it should look like, let's see what it looks like in 720p, and then see how bad it looks when YouTube compresses 720p. Except, we don't really need to see it again in 720p because I have a confession to make. This whole time, you have been watching the test footage in 720p already. Don't believe me? Have a look at this. See the texture on the tire improving? I bet at least half of you didn't even notice or care. See, this is how those 4K gaming or movie clip channels get away with the gimmick of 4K 60 FPS viewing. You can just take a 1080p video and stretch it to 4K, and with YouTube's compression, who would be any the wiser? So now that you've seen that 720p still looks pretty dang good, let's take a look at what YouTube compression does to it. The best and easiest way to see the difference even on lower resolution or small mobile screens, and to avoid YouTube compression making it inconsistent even more, we will be taking a 4-window split screen and zooming in on just one of the corners of the screen, like I mentioned earlier. Keep in mind, though, that this is still the equivalent to an entire fourth of your screen. Also, I'd like to mention that the original video we are comparing it to is not lossless. It has already been rendered and compressed by Vegas to be ready for upload. These 2 videos are the exact same file. The only difference is how one looks before it was uploaded to YouTube, and the other is how it looked after. So, with that being said, here is what happened after we uploaded the video. Now, I don't know about you, but I can see a pretty clear difference between the two of them. Especially around the Airblade's thrusters, the particle effects, the textures on the rocks, and the metal support beams around the track. And all this isn't even considering how much better it looked when it was lossless quality. So, is 720p still HD? Well, when you're gaming or watching a Blu-ray, yes, absolutely. But on YouTube's playback? Yeah, I see why they removed the HD tag from 720p videos. Now, don't go around on some anti-YouTube crusade because their compression sucks. With the hundreds of hours of video uploaded every minute, they have to save memory somewhere. Even for a company as big as Google, that is a lot of data. Still, if the way around YouTube downscaling the quality of your 720p videos is to take that 720p footage and render and upload it in 4K anyway, well, once more people get that idea, I feel like YouTube lowering the quality of 720p is going to have the complete opposite effect of trying to save on memory. Oh, and don't even get me started on their stream compression.